Hi dear friends, history optional answer writing. It's a concern for many aspirants. But it is not at all a rocket science here. If you have the content and you have consistent, continuous practice of writing, getting feedback and improvising yourself, definitely you are in a position to write decent answers to UPSC questions. And you might have seen the previous papers 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 previous papers you might have seen, and it is very much clear that if you have prepared very well, revised multiple times and practiced well, and you took feedback on content wise, presentation structure wise, and you improved yourself content wise, structure wise and presentation wise, definitely you will be in a position to write decent answers and scoring answers to UPSC history optional questions. Okay, now let me tell you, you may have 10 marker questions. You might have seen, yes, there is 10 marker, there is 15 marker, there is 20 marker questions. Of course, now coming to this, the problem is how to answer the question is always a concern for many. Coming to history optional, the most important thing, not only history optional, but in particular, I would say a question is given, question is followed by a particular directive, and what is most important is understanding the question. Yeah, understanding the question. Understanding the demand of the question. This is very much important here. Understanding the demand of the question. Second is you frame an outline here. You frame an outline. Your answer must have an intro. Intro has to be very concisely, precisely you present an intro. Intro should not be like a 1200 words lengthy essay. So intro must be very short, and there must be a body. Okay, the question may have 2 aspects, 3 aspects, 4 aspects, whatever. You try to present all these different dimensions in the body, with the equal weightage. That's important. Now coming to the third option or third part is conclusion. Have a fitting conclusion and no need to write intro, body, conclusion literally. Okay, there is no need to write a heading like intro, body, conclusion. Okay, when the examiner read your answer, he or she must feel that yes, it is intro, body, it is conclusion. And when it comes to your arguments or counter arguments, substantiate, justify, support your arguments, counter arguments with sufficient examples, evidences or case studies if required. I mean related to history and history events. Okay, because coming to history optional, mostly controversial topics or maybe certain viewpoints, historians, thinkers viewpoints type of the questions being asked. Sometimes when such statements are asked, you should have a 360-degree analysis. That is very much essential. Don't go in a single dimension, you must explore different dimensions. Okay, now coming to a question, there is a question is like this. Yeah, this British impact on Indian industries, or maybe their economic impact on Indian industries, okay, or how the British economic policies impacted Indian industry. So simply saying, we will say we will go for that. Yeah, selfie, Crowdy, Modi, or slavey, or bookie. These are the ideas we usually present in our answer. Okay, selfie, Crowdy, Modi, slavey, bookie. We will say that because of this British industrial policies, or because of the British economic policies, how it impacted Indian industries, we may say that yes, the self-sufficiency of the Indian economy is collapsed, or maybe Indian agriculture, there is overcrowding in Indian agriculture due to the return of the artisans and craft workers from cities and towns. due to deindustrialization. Then we will say that yeah, modernization, modern industries, the traditional industries and their collapse is not replaced with the modern industries. Then we will say that bonded labor, or maybe what is called this landless farmer class and this bonded labor etc. ever increased, and to result was continuous buka piazza, you see, that is continuous farming, starving, farming, and droughts etc. These are the usual points you bring into your answer, but we must have a proper structure here. Okay, what is that British economic impact? It all started with that yes, British industrial revolution. Industrial revolution eventually resulted in, yes, industrial revolution. Introduction, anything you can have your introduction, one or two lines. I am coming to the body point and that story mode. Okay, yes, this British economic impact or British industrial policies impacted Indian economy, Indian industries, and resulted in deindustrialization. When we go for that, we start with the British industrial revolution. When industrial revolution happened there, yes, as a result of industrial revolution, yes, they have this bulk quantity of these finished products for cheaper prices. So they're cheaper, they're products of cheaper prices, or maybe cotton textiles, especially cotton textiles with the cheaper prices flooded in Indian markets. It's a reality. Okay, India was a colony, so India is a supplier of raw material and buyer of the finished products. So their cheaper products like a cotton, textiles, kind of the cheaper products, you know, flooded in Indian markets. And what facilitated the railway reforms? Railway reforms, you know, they introduced railway lines and railway reforms. You can see that railway itself was a colonial scandal, and we know that yes, these foreign manufacturers and traders, yes, they were provided with no freight charges or less freight charges, so very easily they can sell their products in Indian markets. So that provided access to remotest Indian markets and and also they do this customs free or maybe duty free like trading here. I mean, there is like exemption on this, abolition on taxes on this, import duties on this British goods, that is also there. So free trade, literally they practiced free trade. They were not supposed to pay any taxes. So Indian manufacturers found it quite difficult to compete with these tax-free goods of the British. Okay, that is one thing. So as a result, what happened is Indian industries collapsed. There are no serious buyers, and Indian products are relatively expensive, and Indians were supposed to pay, traders were supposed to pay the taxes, so they couldn't compete, and result was deindustrialization. Even they were not able to purchase these raw materials in bulk quantity, that is yeah, bought by this British. Now the result was I mean destruction of the self-sufficiency of Indian economy. Then see that yeah, overcrowding in agriculture, and there is no replacement of these collapsed industries with the modern industries, and there is bonded labor and landless farmer classes created. Then there is continuous famine, starvation, etc. happened in India. Also, many of the aspirants forget to write some other sides of these British industrial policies too, or their economic policy too. See, on the other hand, we have some positive aspects also. For example, yes, Indian markets, you know, in Indian markets, foreign goods being introduced. So both these domestic and foreign goods being introduced here. There is again, we would say that yeah, capitalism. It is a launch of this capitalism, end of the feudalism. Okay, end of this feudal markets and start of this capitalism. Again, let us say that yeah, there is integration. There is integration of this Indian economy with this global economy. Integration of Indian economy with the global economy. There is contacts with this global economy, global markets. Okay. Again, there is, as a matter of fact, you can see that the new means of transport, especially railway, to some extent later on, it become instrumental for this political integration of these Indians, and of course creating national consciousness. So new means of transport being introduced. Again, let us say that yes, rule of the law being introduced. rule of the law being introduced. So just talk about the other aspects of the same concept also. Okay, try to cover different aspects, that is very much important. More we will be discussing in the other session. Anyway, coming to answer writing, I would tell you one thing, that you can substantiate this with lots of stati and lots of your like official data by the historians. So what I say is that yes, answer writing has to be a regular practice, and you must get regular feedback from your mentor, because yes, your mentor will be giving feedback on to what extent you adjust to the actual demand of the question, whether your answer is legible or not, whether your introduction is similar to conclusion, conclusion is similar to introduction, whether your body part have done justice to the demand of question, whether you justified your arguments with sufficient data or stati, or with these examples or evidences or case studies, etc., whether the language you used is good or bad. Okay, from various aspects your mentor will give you exact support to answer writing, and this has to be practiced very well. Don't think that once I finish everything I will start answer writing. That is never going to take place. Right from now onwards, as soon as you finish every chapter, you practice answer writing along with that, and get well versed with the magic of answer writing in history optional. All the best. Thank you.